Have you ever wondered what the difference is between the 7-way box wedge and the 5-way box wedge on the Easton-made 37D? You have, right? Yes, I know. See, exactly. You've wondered what is the difference between the 7-way and the 5-way, other than one is 7 splits and one is 5 splits. We'll cover that a little bit later. But as far as the end product coming off of these box wedges, have you ever wondered? I know you have. So that is why today it's your lucky day. We are going to go over the difference between the 7-way and the 5-way in a little demonstration, splitting up one round each, and we're going to compare the end product of splitting one round with the 7-way and one round with the 5-way. So I have 2 rounds of poplar, or aspen, whatever you want to call it, that are off of that tree right there. And yes, I still haven't finished cleaning it up. But I have 2 rounds that are as close to the same size as possible. They are within 19, 30 seconds of an inch. First up, we're going to have the 7-way box wedge, just because that is what is already on the machine. And then we're going to put on the 5-way. We're going to swap out the wedges and run the other round through the 5-way. So there we go. We're going to run onto this tarp, and these blocks of wood in the corner, just so everyone's clear, those are already placed there to hold the tarp down because it's been a little windy today. So I have the tarp laid out to catch the slash, the debris, the splits, everything. And then we will compare. So yes, we're getting a little scientific here today in the back 40 with this experiment. I do not, however, have a lab coat to put on. I should have put on my glasses. So I'm going to set the box wedge at 1 inch. So 1 inch of this frame of the splitter is going to be sticking up above the plate, the top plate of the box wedge. Let's get the first round into place. So I may have had the box wedge set a little too low. Some of those splits were a little small, but it's all right because I am going to be using this for bundle wood. So the smaller splits are fine. And I will set the 5-way at the same height so we can get a comparison of the two. But yeah, if I was running that, I may have adjusted it to raise the box wedge up a little bit to make the splits a little bit bigger. But let's take a look at what we got. There is the pile from one round. And I'll sort this out later. I just wanted to give a look at everything that came out of that one round. But like I mentioned, some of those splits were a little thin, just because I did have the wedge set at 1 inch down from flush. So yes, a little thin, but hey, this is all just in the name of science. So now let's get this cleaned up so we can compare the 5-way. Actually, this might not all fit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the splits aside, and I'm going to put the scrap in the basket first. The slash. Because that is the one thing that a lot of people notice with the box wedge is the amount of slash or waste. Tell you what, there are a lot of splits here though for the bundle wood. All right, so here is the basket of slash. Oh, I missed these pieces. And we want this to be as accurate as possible. When you are a professional firewood hobbyist, consistency and accuracy is key. So I don't want the results skewed in any way. Oh God, this is a lot of wood. Right. And now to change the wedge. So my good buddy, who many of you probably know, Mr. Outside with Shibe, Shibe gave me a little tip on changing out the wedge. He said, extend the push block all the way out, and that'll help guide the wedge in. So I'm going to give that a try, this go around, and see how that works. All right, so let's get the push block back out. Or maybe well, it won't matter. I think it shouldn't matter if it's out when I take this one out. Or actually, maybe I'll wait till this one's out, extend it when I'm putting the next one in. That might work better. So now for a little comparison, up close look at these two box wedges. So over there we have the 7-way, and that is the 5-way. And this is where a lot of confusion comes in, because when you look at this, you think of 1, 2, 3, 4. So you would think of that as like a 4-way box wedge. But the top plate also splits the round. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the same thing with the 7-way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the top split is 7. So that is why these wedges are referred to as the 7-way box wedge and the 5-way box wedge. There we go. All right, let's set the wedge at about the same height, even though that's going to be a little low. And then we'll put the pullback arm back on. Now, if you are keeping score at home, I hope you realize that a 5-way box wedge is going to produce less pieces than a 7-way. At least that is according to my calculations. And there we go. There is a pile from one round, the same size round, run through the 5-way box wedge. So again, there's going to be fewer pieces, fewer splits, and also fewer, I guess, slash and trash. And for obvious reasons, 7 wedges versus 5. So there's less splitting, bigger pieces, fewer pieces, and I believe a little less scrap. So again, these splits are fairly thin with that wedge set as low as it was. But they're still good for bundle wood. So I'm going to gather these up, and I will consider like this size piece a split and not scrap. This, however, will go in the scrap bucket. And now for the results. On the 7-way box wedge, there is the basket full of everything that was scraps and trash and slash. And we ended up with 33 pieces, 33 splits from the 7-way. The same size round with the 5-way. There is the basket full of scraps. Scraps are less and they are smaller. So like some of these scraps are a little bigger. That could actually be a piece. So a little bit bigger slash with the 7-way, a little smaller slash with the 5-way, and less of it. And the total number of splits from the 5-way was 20. So 20 splits with the 5-way, 33 with the 7-way. So there is the comparison between the 5-way and the 7-way box wedge on the Easton-made 37D. Kind of cool, kind of interesting, I think anyway, and like I mentioned, I'm pretty sure most of you were wondering what the results would be, and now you know. Stop on by the live stream tomorrow night, Friday Night Live at 8 p.m. Central, because there might just be a little pop quiz on today's experiment. We'll see you then. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, have fun, and be cool.